What if I told you the most dangerous symbol in the entertainment industry isn't a triangle or a checkerboard floor? It's this. A black sticky substance, unnatural, hypnotic, and everywhere. Not just in music videos, but in photo shoots, commercials, and fashion campaigns. They call it black goo. And some believe it's not just aesthetic, it's ritual. The pattern is impossible to ignore. Celebrities dripping in black liquid, often shown during moments of transformation. Eyes blacked out, skin covered, smiles erased. They don't just wear the goo, they're consumed by it. Rihanna in Umbrella. Doja Cat in high fashion shoots. Madonna. Billie Eilish. Even fashion shows feature models emerging from or drowning in this thick substance. Why this? Why always the same look, the same black liquid? You're probably thinking this means something, and you are not wrong. To some, black goo represents chaos. It's the prima materia, the raw ancient sludge of alchemy. In occultism, it's tied to rebirth through darkness, destruction before renewal, a death of identity. But others say it's darker, a symbol of demonic possession, or surrendering the soul to elite control, a visual metaphor for losing yourself to something else. In science fiction, black goo isn't just symbolic, it's sentient. In Prometheus, it mutates anything it touches. In X-Files, it infects the body and erases free will. And then there's reality. German researcher Dr. Harald Kautz-Vella claims black goo exists as a real programmable alien substance discovered during the Gulf War. He said it reacts to emotion, can self-organize, and might be used for manipulation. Wild? Maybe. But why does the same symbol appear in real-world experiments? Now combine the goo with music, sound frequencies, strobe lights, repetition. Black goo doesn't just look creepy, it feels like something else. Some believe it's used as a psychological weapon, a hypnotic trigger embedded in culture. And if you look closer, the symbolism appears during trauma moments, breakdowns, meltdowns, rebirths. What if it's all programming? Lady Gaga in Applause and emerges from black paint, new identity. Britney Spears, visual themes of being covered or trapped. Miley Cyrus, post-Disney rebirth moments tied to bizarre visuals. Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, FKA Twigs, all have used goo ink slime symbolism during career shifts or weird phases. In conspiracy circles, black goo is the new black cube, a symbol of control, of elite initiation, of AI merging with human flesh. Some say it represents the next step of entertainment, the death of identity, and the outrise of something synthetic. Maybe it's not real, maybe it's just a trend, but if so, why does it always look the same? Why does it feel like a warning? The next time you see a celebrity dripping in goo, don't just scroll. Because in an industry where nothing is accidental, even the slime has a message, and it's speaking to your subconscious. Question everything.
You need to realize that actually, if you look into the black magic traditions, when people went to worship black goo stones and then the demons came out of it. This is something that needs further understanding as well. There is one Hollywood film that very precisely shows what this is about. It's basically, the story is about a human couple. She's a scientist, he's, I think, a soldier. And basically everything is already destroyed on planet Earth. And this woman she's a shaman, and she's collecting animal spirits, kind of finding the last surviving animals to pick up their spirit. And then they go to the place where the meteorite came down and find a black goo-like substance, and they manage to infect the alien black goo with the information field of Mother Earth. And then kind of Mother Earth manages to conquer the alien information field, healing the entire planet. So this is basically, I do not know who wrote the script for this film. But there's an extreme deep knowledge, because exactly the setup that is described in the film is the setup that is basically ruling the entire planet since 16,000 years, giving us this type of duality, giving us demons that for me appear to as the lost souls of a biosphere that self-destroyed and came here as a swarm of meteorites. So basically this is the liquid brain of a different planet brought here by intention, because I don't believe that even if this planet exploded, we should have had like thousands of meteorites without black goo and maybe one with black goo. But what arrived here is only meteorites with black goo. So somebody brought this here by intention to infect this planet with this alien consciousness. And the entities black magicians are talking to must be surviving beings that are not incarnating anymore because they lost their planets, but are still there as the souls of these beings, being highly intelligent. And if you look at pictures that people painted from, let's say, their visions they had from this type of reality, it seems to be a spider-like species that was running this planet that self-destroyed. So these are like insect biology, spider-like, extremely intelligent and highly developed. And these were called the archons in our culture. So basically these are beings that started by communicating with people that were willing to communicate. They started to create this black magic entanglement to humanity, and they offered us the possibility to control others. This was something that was actually not within the human nature. All these ideas of running a biosphere not based on love but based on different emotions. This is what they kind of introduced to this planet. So the first things that came from the black magic rituals was blood and fire sacrifice. Ritually killing animals to gain this biophoton burst that is emitted when a being dies in pain. To, on one hand, feed the demons. This is what they needed to survive as beings, that they didn't have a biology of their own, so they needed to feed on life force in a certain way. And on the other hand, some of the energy extracted by these rituals is also used to pay the people sacrificing, because they want to have worldly power. So if you want to have worldly power and gain profit, you need ways and means to control other people. And this painful emission of life force when you kill somebody can, if you know the game of black magic, can be used to force other people to do things they do not want to force, because facing these energies is extremely painful. And this has evolved and developed on our planet, and they switched from, let's say, the biophoton burst from killing animal and humans. It was changed to a system that is running today on torture energy. This is all about control. Control is giving birth to scarcity. Because if I want to control things, I grab them and do not leave them for others. So the others do not have access anymore. So this is possessing things, owning things. This is money. The moment I have money, I need a political system to administer all the things. So basically, every quality that we perceive as being normal, because we were born in this, actually is part of this black magic cult. If we go beyond this, before this we come to a paradise state that is living in abundance, that we all just share free out of love with each other. Nature is giving us so much, we could all live in abundance without any problems, but we are infected by these energies, we are following their ways of control. So what we basically do is we connect ourselves to, not to love, but to torture energy by eating what we eat. This is how this is introduced into our system. And then we let ourselves being guided and ruled by torture energy, being in resonance with this. And this is what we call politics, and this is why politics want to go to World War III, because this is blood sacrifice. This is how they work, and this is how they maintain their system. And power is part of this system. We cannot solve a problem by replacing one governor by another one, because the concept of governing is black. We cannot replace a currency by a better currency, because the concept of money is black. So this is kind of, once you start to understand the ways that were introduced by this agenda, you start to realize that we are completely infected. It's like normally we think we are humans, but suddenly we realize no, we are just one big piece of cancer that is running around with the things we do and the things we live, realizing that this is not human.